Jeffrey, let's start with you all to children and tropical water Keaton Francis. The both of you, good morning.
Around their waists on the way home because it's going to be in the 60s, mid, maybe even a few spots in the upper 60s this afternoon. So we are bright. We are a little breezy today, nothing too extreme in the wind department. And yes, we have showers in the forecast tonight into tomorrow morning. So giving you that first alert, you will be needing that umbrella again. But after the overnight into tomorrow morning rain, we are going to be trending drier, breezy, and a little bit cooler. So we'll go over all these details for you, the timing of the rain, and of course, the cooler temperatures in your first alert 7-day in about 10 to 15 minutes. Caitlin.
All right, thanks, Jill. Hey, good morning, everyone. Picked up a first alert. I want you to turn your attention to here at 6:32. This is a crash in Cheshire, 84 westbound between exits 28 and 26. Two right lanes there are blocked off, and you can see this is a very active scene. Unfortunately, it's still very dark through this area, but you can see all the emergency flashing lights. You can see traffic trying to squeeze through that remaining left-hand open lane here, which is causing some backups through the area. Again, that's 84 westbound through Cheshire. Rest of the state looking pretty good. A live look outside in Plainville, Berlin, and here in Meriden. But again, that crash that we're calling for you, I'll get you their update coming up in just about 10. Those drive times, though, about a 2-hour ride right now, 95 southbound towards the George Washington Bridge. It's Quick Check, your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report. Driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Yeah, picking up those crashes. Let's get.
A man now in jail charged with.
All right, now we have breaking news out of Stratford.
He called the police around 7 last night. The man said he attacked his girlfriend and wanted to take his own life.
The man was accused of stabbing a girlfriend to death in Stratford.
Same victim earlier this year. You could soon receive a notice that your health care costs are going up, and state boards are sharing more information about that today. This is expected to impact anyone covered through Access Health CT. That's the program in our state that works through the Affordable Care Act. Officials tell us U.S. costs will rise because federal tax credits will expire at the end of the year. The debate over those credits is at the center of the government shutdown right now. Democrats want Republicans to extend those credits so costs don't go up in order to reopen the government. Well, happening now, the Senate failed to pass a measure to.
Speaking of government, that'll be a weather time. The House of the Senate fails to open up the government.
The Senate would need 60 votes to advance the temporary funding plan approved by the House. 50 senators voted in favor yesterday, while another 7 did not vote. Well, this week, Senate Republicans now expected to call for votes on a bill to pay government workers and members of the military during this shutdown. House Speaker Mike Johnson says he'll call on the House back to if the measure passes. However, it needs support from Senate Democrats. The House has not voted in over a month. Some House Republicans argue the responsibility to reopen the government is on the Senate since they already passed a funding plan.
I haven't today. Vice President J.D. Vance will be visiting with Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu with an update on a ceasefire deal with Russia and Ukraine.
Nature Boy, let's go.
And the others. So let's go to the other two for today's other news of the day today.
6:35 now happening today. People in Hamden demanding action and answers after a recent ice raid in town. It happened last week at an Optimo car wash, and that's where we find your reporter Anna Stansfield. And this comes after the town promised to protect immigrant communities.
Hey Tracy, Caitlin, good morning. Just last week, 8 people were detained from this car wash here behind me, just months after local legislators passed a new ordinance called the Welcoming City Ordinance, which says that immigrants in town should be safe. And after this raid, locals have a lot of questions. Before last week's raid, ICE contacted Hamden Police, letting them know they were planning to raid this car wash. Now, some community members are asking, why didn't police do anything to shut it down after getting that heads up? They say this raid was a complete failure of the town's new Welcoming City Ordinance, allowing ICE to detain 8 people who were told all have young children in local schools. Local advocacy groups want to hold the town accountable, writing in a statement, quote, "For justice, we call on the city of Hamden to provide financial financial support to cover legal expenses, including bail, and to support families now suffering not only from the trauma, but also from the loss of income. Now, since this all happened, both Democrat and Republican lawmakers in our state have spoken out against this in support of the police department, saying those officers did the right thing, saying that if they were to have interfered with this raid, they could have been putting themselves in danger. Despite that, locals are planning to meet tonight outside of the police department at 5 o'clock, demanding some of those answers for the questions that still linger here this morning. I'm your reporter in Hampton, Anna Stansfield, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Anna, thank you. Now to an update on a story we're staying on top of for you here on Eyewitness News. Search warrants revealed tragic and disturbing new information about the death of Jacqueline Torres and how she was treated by her own family. The young girl's remains were found behind an abandoned home in New Britain. Her mother now facing murder charges in connection to her death. You can see in the video here the night that she was arrested. The documents say her mother stopped feeding her 2 weeks before she died. The mother also admitting to using zip ties to restrain the young girl after she tried to run away. The child's aunt and her mother's boyfriend are also charged in her death.
Well, happening now, a man is recovering after police used drones to rescue him from a marsh in Tolland. We still don't know how they ended up there, but police say they used a drone with infrared technology in order to find them and then sent crews in to rescue the man. To Vernon now, where the Hartford Turnpike is back open after a crash between a car and a motorcycle. It was closed for several hours near Mount Vernon Drive last night. Pinpoint News Tracker showing you the exact location here. The motorcycle rider was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. We're told the driver was not hurt and is cooperating with police this morning.
An update this morning, one state senator now standing by a sign he brought to a rally against the Trump administration.
Yeah, State Senator Saud Anwar is bringing that sign up, and here's what it says: cholesterol, do your job. Some Republicans are now saying they want him to be removed as chair of the Public Health Committee. In a statement here, he says Republicans are furious over a joke, but silent when democracy, healthcare, and the planet are under attack. Now, that sign is drawing criticism from other Democrats as well. Governor Lamont called it offensive and inappropriate. 6:39 now. In just a few hours, the jury in the federal trial against Costa Diamantis will continue to try to reach a verdict. Today is the first full day of deliberations after closing arguments yesterday.
The prosecutors say he was a corrupt public official. However, his attorney told jurors they need to follow the law, even if they don't like him. Your reporter Taylor Knight is live in studio with what we can expect in court today. Good morning.
Good morning. We are getting closer to a verdict here. Diamantis was in charge of school construction projects from 2015 to 2021 and now faces decades of prison time if found guilty on more than 20 counts of bribery and extortion. Prosecutors started their closing arguments first yesterday, showing jurors how contractors paid Diamantis and said when they didn't pay him, Diamantis threatened them. Diamantis' attorney says the government failed to prove its case. Jurors have heard lots of testimony and seen lots of documents in the last 2.5 weeks of this trial, and now they will deliberate and decide what and who to believe. Your chief political reporter, Susan Raff, will be in the courtroom when a verdict comes down. We'll have the latest on air and online at WFSB.com. Your reporter live in studio, Taylor Knight, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Taylor, thank you. 6:40 now, and this morning, Governor Lamont announced his picks to fill positions at the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority. The agency makes decisions that impact your electric bills. Their chairperson recently resigned, and the governor nominated Thomas Wheel to fill her seat. All other vacant positions were filled, and they will start working now, though they still need to be confirmed by the General Assembly. Republicans say the governor is finally complying with the law.
Happening today, Republican lawmakers from our state will share their plan to save you money on property taxes. They'll speak in Hartford around 11 this morning. Sit with us for updates on air and online about how their plan will work. And if you're enrolled in Medicare, there's an event in West Hartford today that can help you out. Healthcare experts will answer your questions at the Senior Center starting at 10 this morning. The event goes until noon. Open enrollment is underway, which allows you to change your Medicare plan without penalties. The meeting could help you learn which plan works best for you.
Still ahead here, transportation officials say technology to prevent wrong-way drivers is helping save lives on roads in our state. We'll explain how they protect you and your family.
Plus, new health research shows peanut allergies are decreasing because of new recommendations. What doctors say is driving the trend.
And at First Alert, we have rain that's less than 24 hours away. I'll be telling you coming up in just a few minutes.
Virginality, naturally in rhythm. St. Croix, a vibe like no other.
I'm gonna go feed to the back and I'll put my
I heard what he said.
State, Channel 3 of the Wax, proud partners of Yukon Athletics.
All right, check this out. Police officers in New Canaan now have graffiti all over their truck, but don't worry, it's all for a good cause.
Yeah, as part of a raffle supporting Special Olympics Connecticut, they gave people a free pass to decorate the truck. It's not clear if you will see it on patrol, but kids, of course, were very happy to meet with the officers and get a little creative.
It's actually cute.
Yeah, it is cute.
I see a few hearts above the rim there.
Yeah.
Well, you know, also, you have to hide probably the markers in the house and everything, so
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like on the walls or things like
Yeah.
that. It's the times like, go for it.
Yeah.
Go at it. All right, well, we are talking about, you know, if you get your vehicle, maybe rolling down the windows later on today because it's going to be so nice. But yeah, you might need a touch of heat on this morning. It is cooler than 24 hours ago, but yesterday was, you know, oddly in the 60s in the morning to start. Torrington, we're going to get that beautiful glow starting. Sunrise is about 10 minutes past 7. Another gorgeous glowing sky. This is Old Saybrook. We're starting off the day on the right foot, so it's bright. Temperatures are even still slightly above average with a lot of 40s inland, mid and upper, and even some 50s.
I'll turn out for you ladies from the forecast and today we will watch Jill Zawadi.
Setting up today, temperatures, look at that, climbing into the mid 60s. So yeah, open up the windows of the house, let in that fresh air, and then know that we have got some clouds coming in and eventually some rain, so those windows need to be certainly closed, which you'll probably do so anyways, because it will cool off tonight. And as we get into tomorrow, this afternoon, excuse me, along the shoreline, it is
I was
absolutely
actually
fantastic
over to
across
go.
our entire state. So in terms of watering the mounds,
Okay, you know,
much rain yesterday, go ahead and do so.
you
Or
one
even
more
just
thing to
wait,
be up
because you're
to.
going to get a chance for some of that rain coming in tonight. If you don't get much, again, over the next 24 hours, go ahead and water on Thursday. So first alert futurecast showing that rain. There's 10 o'clock to our west, building in. Then we'll continue off and on through, that's 5 o'clock in the morning, but then 9 o'clock, look at that, it's over and done with. So it's a light amount. We're talking about 10th, 2/10ths west, maybe up to a half an inch across the eastern part of the state, but still could be some wet travel conditions tomorrow morning, so just give you that first alert. Otherwise, we're looking fantastic to close out the week. A little cooler. We're trending downward, and we'll continue to trend downward as we get into the weekend. We'll have some frostier mornings for Saturday and Sunday, and afternoon readings in the 50s with dry conditions persisting all the way into early next week. Okay.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. We got the first one right.
Turn your attention here to your screen. As you're getting ready to head out the door, this is a crash in Cheshire. DOT telling us a couple vehicles involved here. 84 westbound between exits 28 and 26. We got a couple lanes blocked off here. You can see traffic really crawling through this area. So we are seeing some delays because of this. Unfortunately, still very dark out there, but you can see those emergency flashing lights. We've got some state police on scene as well. Make sure that you're giving yourself some time to get around this safely and slowly. And a reminder, it is the law here in Connecticut to move over. Rest of the state looking very nice. Jill's been talking about how you're going to need the sunglasses as you're heading out this morning. Once that sun officially comes up, drive times into Hartford slowing down a little bit and really slowing down through Fairfield County, 95 southbound towards the George Washington Bridge. Let's check out your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report.
Alright, time right now is 6:48 now, and we need the news. We have going to be an update on one-way detection. 85% of them success, only 15% fatal. And just over 200 ramps. And they're aiming for 325 detections. And they gathered safety data. Okay. Here's an event that's happening today on Quinn Network. There is a groundbreaking Amazon warehouse going to be happening at Naugatuck. You may remember the Amazon Web Services were shutting down. This is a brand new one up in Naugatuck. There are many other Amazons across the state of Connecticut. New this morning, the National Guard troops are now around in Portland. There are no plans to make the National Guard troops into Chicopee and Hartford, but right now, the demolition work will begin at the White House. Continues. We have now an update on President Biden's the former president. They're treating very, very well. Right time now is about 6:50. And in health news, people with peanut allergy, you may want to be what you can. Because allergies all this continue to us. Well, the good news is that their kids with peanut allergies, they're dropping. I'm not a peanut, so. We have some news about nearing a verdict. We have that top story coming up in just a minute. And as we go into a live look at New Haven this morning. A very good day. You know what? That's all coming up out in about 2 minutes from now. But first, today's winning lottery numbers from Connecticut and Massachusetts. Well, maybe focus on the Connecticut one, but we're still going to do the one in Massachusetts for Massachusetts too. So, how about yesterday was 32, 38, 66, 67, 69, and 19. I don't know if there's any winners there. I think there was not. So the winner is the jackpot expands. Then we have the usual pay 3, pay 4. And for that, here are your winning lottery numbers to pass along. And now for Mass Cash. Let's see all your And now for Mass Cash and Mass Midday. Mass Midday Cash. And here are your winning lottery numbers for both Mobile Scheme and Mass Cash. Let me give you the winning lottery numbers for the lucky for life today. It was 3, 5, 23, 26, and 28. The lucky ball was 9. Megabucks are 2, 3, 40, 49, 42. They go at the same schedule as Powerball. Well, they draw 3 nights a week: Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Alright, that's it for all your winning lottery numbers. It is that time now for latest news. We do we'll also see some we're just all ways down for Springfield on 91 northbound as well. Well, we're also looking at, and also today we're focusing on NBA is coming back on NBC. Also today the Boston Bruins face off against the Florida Panthers today. And the World Series, oh man, you love the World Series. The World Series is coming back to Toronto for the first time. Time now for the last check of your forecast, and for that, let's be talking to meteorologist Jill Girardi one more time. Hello, Jill.
Much we're expecting. Not a lot, but we'll take every drop we can. Anywhere from 2/10 to maybe a half an inch. So that happening across the eastern part of the state. The rain is tonight into tomorrow morning, mainly dry tomorrow afternoon, trending a little bit cooler as we head through the rest of the week, but today's looking phenomenal. Sunglasses you'll need, and by the afternoon you won't need that jacket with highs in the mid-60s. Caitlin?
All right, thanks, Jill. We are following the first alert here on the roads as you are heading out the door. This is in Cheshire, 84 westbound between exits 28 and 26. We got a couple lanes blocked off here. Traffic is crawling through this stretch as you're trying to get around safely and slowly, so expect some delays. Again, this is a very active scene here. We'll have another update on the wax coming up in just a few minutes. All right, here's a look at the stories.
All right,
time now.
Time now for the latest top stories. The news first week, there are now jury in this trial that begins in Bridgeport State. They're getting closer and closer to a verdict. There's also a community where we asked their ICE to detain 8 people in Hamden. That's new. The ICE also means immigration and criminal offense. So don't expect them to be very, very, very bad. And you know the healthcare costs. Access Health Connecticut is increasing the prices, and now largely in part due to the government shutdown. More on that coming up on Q2 coming up in a moment. Back to Jill Girardi one more time. Do you have some birthdays you like to mention?
Amelia Hankerson, Amber Frazier. We have Amara Young, 14. Lauren DiLorenzo, 21. Ethan Sanchez, 14. Lane Edmondson, we have Taylor Ferguson, 6. We have Peter Dory, 83. Autumn Maynard, 11. And Tasha Jackson is 53.
Thanks so much for having everybody, everyone. All right. Very, very good. Yeah. The NBA and NBC's back, right? So watch the Bruins game. Watch the game. I'll be back for afternoon live coming up at 4 o'clock Eastern time. And then your evening news and weather. Plus statewide serve then. And your latest news and weather every day. We'll have the morning news starting at 4:30. We'll take a live look ahead on the Quinnipiac 2 though. If you're on Quinnipiac Plus. The local MLB player has won the pennant. That's an historic homer. We'll be taking a quick commercial break. For those on Quinnipiac 1 and YouTube, it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye.